Imagine, your 15-year-old kid grabs his backpack and heads to school on a Monday morning. He's completely normal, a regular teenager who laughs and jokes around with his friends. But by Friday, within just 5 days, that same kid turns into a ruthless secret police agent. He's ready to betray his own friends at the command of a dictator. He's throwing a bizarre salute, and he's bullying and chasing away kids who aren't part of his group. You might think this is the plot of a dystopian Hollywood movie, but my friend, this is no movie. This was a real psychological experiment conducted in an American high school in 1967. It was an experiment that became so dangerous and terrifying that it had to be shut down halfway through, all because an ordinary history teacher managed to breed full-blown fascism inside his classroom in just 5 days. In the world of science, this horrifying chapter is known as the Third Wave. The story begins in April 1967. At Cubberley High School in California, there was a 25-year-old history teacher named Ron Jones. Jones was teaching his students about World War II and the history of Nazi Germany. Suddenly, a kid in the class raised his hand and asked a question that shook Jones to his core. The boy asked, "Sir, when Hitler was murdering millions of innocent people in gas chambers, why did the ordinary people of Germany stay quiet? After the war, why did those people claim that they didn't know anything? How can any human being be so blind and heartless?" Jones didn't have an answer to this. He couldn't just read from a textbook to explain how an entire country suddenly turns into a monster. So he decided that he wouldn't tell the kids the answer. He would make them feel it. And so began the game that would become history's most terrifying school experiment. Day 1, Monday, the power of discipline. Jones walked into the class and wrote on the chalkboard, "Strength through discipline." He ordered the students that no one was allowed to slouch in their chairs. Everyone's spine had to be perfectly straight, with their feet planted flat on the floor. If anyone wanted to answer a question, they had to snap up from their chair and say, "Mr. Jones," before every response. At first, the kids thought it was a game, but within a few hours, something magical happened. The kids who used to goof off and make noise were now sitting as alert as army soldiers. The pace of the class accelerated. The kids started feeling a strange sense of peace and power in this strict discipline. The end of the first day felt very normal. Jones was pleased. Day 2, Tuesday, the power of community. On Tuesday, Jones wrote a second slogan on the board, "Strength through community." He explained to the kids that when a person is alone, they are weak, but when they become part of a group, they become invincible. Jones gave this group a name, the Third Wave. Using ocean waves as an example, he said that the third wave is always the largest and most powerful. Jones taught the kids a special salute resembling the Nazis, bringing the hand up to the chest to mimic a wave. In the school hallways, in the cafeteria, in the library, anyone who was a member of the Third Wave would throw this salute the moment they saw each other. They were no longer just students. They had become a cult. Day 3, Wednesday, action and betrayal. This is where the experiment started slipping out of Jones's control. Wednesday's slogan was, "Strength through action." Jones gave every kid a membership card. 3 of these cards had a red cross, X, drawn on them. Those who received this cross were appointed as the secret police. Their job was to spy on kids who were breaking the rules or mocking the Third Wave. The results were terrifying. It wasn't just those 3 spies. More than half the kids in the class started voluntarily coming forward to snitch on their own friends. Kids from other classes started ditching their studies to sneak into Jones's room. What started as a group of 30 kids had now mutated into a fanatical army of 200. If a kid wasn't a member of the Third Wave, they were banned from sitting at their tables in the cafeteria. The kids even appointed themselves as bodyguards for Jones, shadowing his every move. Day 4, Thursday, blind pride and fear. By Thursday, the atmosphere in the school felt like a prison. The kids were behaving like robots. They were deeply suspicious of one another. Nobody trusted anyone. They only trusted their leader, Mr. Jones. Jones got scared. He realized that kids who were at the perfect age for critical thinking and questioning were blindly following orders. Jones decided that he had to stop this madness immediately. He gathered the whole class and told a massive lie. Jones yelled, "You are not just a class. The Third Wave is not a game. Thousands of groups like ours have formed all over America. We are going to overthrow the rotten government of this country. Tomorrow at noon, on national TV, our supreme leader will step forward and announce our movement. Tomorrow, everyone will meet in the auditorium." A strange gleam appeared in the kids' eyes. They felt like they were about to make history. Day 5, Friday, the real face of the monster. 12 p.m. The auditorium was packed. Over 200 kids were sitting in absolute pin-drop silence. A TV was set up at the front. Jones walked in and turned it on. There was nothing on the screen, just a blank white glow and the sound of static. 1 minute passed. 2 minutes passed. No supreme leader showed up. The kids started getting restless. Finally, one kid gathered his courage courage and asked, "Mr. Jones, there is no leader, is there?" Jones turned off the TV and took a deep breath. "Yes, there is no leader. There is no national movement. You have all been played, and you happily traded away your freedom." After this, Jones turned on a projector. The video that played on the screen pulled the rug out from under the kids' feet. It was footage of Nazi Germany's Adolf Hitler, people screaming like maniacs at rallies, massive crowds saluting, and the corpses of innocent people murdered in gas chambers. With tears in his eyes, Jones said, "You asked me on Monday why the German citizens stayed quiet while watching Hitler. Look at your own faces today. What did you become? You didn't question yourselves even once. In just 5 days, you betrayed your friends. You cast out those who thought differently than you. You genuinely believed you were superior to everyone else. Do you think you are any better than the German people? No. If the circumstances remained like this, you would have done exactly what they did." A heavy silence fell over the entire auditorium. Many kids broke down and started weeping uncontrollably. They were in shock. They were disgusted with themselves. Those same kids who just yesterday considered themselves part of a grand army realized today how quickly the animal inside a human being can be unleashed. Even today, we like to think that we have a lot of humanity within us. We believe that what happened in the past will never happen again. But the third wave experiment reveals a very bitter truth. Dictatorships aren't built solely with weapons. Dictatorship stems from a deep psychological weakness in human beings, a place where people find more comfort in belonging to a group and obeying the orders of a supreme leader than they do in freedom and personal responsibility. There is a Nazi sleeping inside all of us. To wake it up, all it takes is a charismatic leader, a catchy slogan, and just 5 days of time. Are you currently part of a third wave without even realizing it? Be sure to ask yourself that question.